What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, if you guys could just drop me a quick like, it helps me with the algorithm and just gets this video jumping off really quick. In this video, I have an awesome unboxing, review, and install of these Lasfit rock lights. As I start this unboxing, I just want to give a special shout out to Lasfit. They sent me these over a year ago and they got lost when I moved to my new place. They reached out to me. They've been super patient, very supportive. Customer service is on point. They're just a pleasure to work with. So I just want to give a big thank you, big shout out to them. Thank you, Lasfit, for making this video possible. Now, Lasfit provides everything you need for these installs. There's nothing you need besides tools to get the job done. Each box comes with 4 rock lights. You'll have a harness and you'll have a switch as well. You'll also have some of these little rubber mounts. As you'll see later on, I do not use these little bolts with nuts and everything. I ended up just using some screws and just drilled right into the wheel well plastic. It's just an easier fitment for me. It drilled right in. I didn't have to, fasten or tighten any nuts or bolts or anything like that. I'm also not going to be using the switch they provide. I do have a 12 gang switch that I'm going to be wiring it up to. So I will be cutting these off and wiring both of them directly to my switch. Something I did notice is I could have got away with one harness, but I wouldn't have been able to stretch out the back 2 rock lights. So I used 2 and I split it down the middle, and you'll see later on in the video exactly how I split it and how I run the wires. I also will not be using these little rubber pieces that the rock light sits in. When I did try to use them, it just made the rock light sit out a little bit too far for my liking, and you can kind of see it, so I cut those out of the equation. The tools needed for this install are pretty basic. I had a cordless wrench. To me, it just makes life a lot easier. So I went ahead and used that with an 8mm socket just to take all these screws out around the wheel well. You're also going to need a drill and a bit as well, just to drill little holes in the wheel well liner so we can run the cables through it. That's enough of my annoying voice. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch this install video, and if I need to chime in, I'll go ahead and do so. So the main thing is mocking these up before you drill, even before you take the liner off the truck, just to kind of see where they line up with one another so you can get that even light around the whole wheel well. And be prepared for all kinds of dirt to come out of these wheel wells. They were caked on, just dry sand falling out of everywhere. So be ready to get dirty. Now, I don't know about you, but zip ties are my best friend. And I went ahead and zip tied absolutely everything. So if there was a wire, I zip tied it to it. If there was a bracket I could zip tie to, I zip tied to it. I went ahead and hid these wires as high up as I can, just in case nothing on the bottom grabs something, snags something, and pulls the wiring out. On one side, there will be a little bit more wiring than the other, just because it's going to start on one side of the engine. The other side is going to go all the way across the center of the vehicle. This is the part where I mentioned just mocking them up, just getting them as even as possible. Just eye it. You can mark it with whatever, because I'm pretty sure your wheel wells will be dirty. So just mark it with something. That way when you take it off, you know exactly where they go. As I start to finish up all the zip tying, you'll see here that each side has its own harness. They're both going to run from near the battery. They're going to go down the driver's side wheel well, and then they're going to split off. When they do split off, as you can see, I run the wire through here on the top so it can't snag on anything below. And then I run it up through, away from any moving components. You don't want to zip tie it to any brakes, suspension, any of that stuff. So we want to tuck it far away from anything like that. And if you wanted to add some more rock lights later, you got 4 ports on each side extra with this method. And like I said before, I will not be using the switches that they provided. I am using my 12 gang Auxbeam switch panel. I will be doing a video on this switch panel. I just got it installed and just got some things installed to it, so now I can do a review on it. But here, as you can see, I'm just cutting this switch off, stripping the wires. I'm going to put them all together, and then I'm going to put them in the slots. If you don't have a switch panel, you would not be doing this step, but I did not show the other step because I wasn't going to use the regular switches, but they're very straightforward. I ran these wires alongside the battery and down the driver's side wheel well. I'd say it's best to run this wire when you have the front wheel well off. That way it's a little easier to tuck them behind with all the other wires. Other than that, that's it. Lasfit made an awesome kit. I'm very happy with it. Top-notch quality. I live here in South Florida and we just had some flooding and they're holding up perfectly. No problems, no complaints whatsoever. I'd purchase these 10 times over again. That concludes the video. Thank you guys for watching so much. Please like, subscribe, follow, help a brother out. And now it's time for the big reveal. Enjoy.